Good morning, everybody. Well, I am getting ready to head in for my second chemo treatment. And by the looks of it, all the tests from yesterday came back pretty good. So the doctor, monitors my blood work for the red blood cell count and the white blood cell count. And if my white blood cell count is too low, then we wouldn't be able to do the chemo treatment the following day, which would be today. But by the looks of it, and I'm sure the doctor would have called, all the levels for the red blood cell count and the white blood cell count are all good. So they just order for a complete panel each day before the chemo treatment, and just to make sure that I'm healthy and strong enough, within the body chemistry of everything, and just to make sure that my body would be able to, fight along with, taking the chemo. Anyway, I found that all out yesterday, so, which, definitely helps understand a little bit more, especially with all the different blood work that they took. So we did try, so when they did the blood work, they did access the port. We were going to see about letting it stay in overnight until today, so that way it would only have to be accessed one time. But I decided that it was because it constantly felt like there was a sharp pain in there. So it was very uncomfortable for me. And I was afraid that, between my clothing and everything else, that I would sit there and just, constantly knock into it, because what they did was they had the port itself with the needle, and that was covered. And then, the little line to feed the chemo treatments in, all the liquids, and that was just wrapped around and tacked with tape, and I just felt that was not the best situation for me. So they took it out, and so from here on out, the port will only be accessed on the day of chemo, and then they will just draw blood from my arm. So, but I will go ahead and keep you guys updated throughout my chemo treatment. We're getting ready to put a numbing agent on top of the port right here to cover it up, numb it, so that way it doesn't hurt as bad when I go in to have the chemo done. Let's see, anything else to tell beforehand? So I do have all my snacks. We did get the little booty and hand mitts, because one of the medications, which I will let you know later, is one that causes for a numbness in the fingers and in the toes. Though I didn't really seem to have that much trouble last time, but we went ahead and got these anyway, just in case. All right, well, my darling husband is ready to put the numbing agent on. You want to say hi?
Hi.
And then after this, we will be heading to my chemo treatment. And
Want me to do it while you're recording?
you can. All right. Well, do we have enough to access? All right. So I guess we're going to go ahead and record while we're doing this. So he's just filling for the port, so that way he knows where to put the numbing agent on. So first he's going to clean it with alcohol. So yesterday when the lady went to go and get it put in the port, it didn't exactly go all the way into the port itself. It kind of went sideways, which I think is another reason why. She did go back in and correct it, but I think that's another reason why it was uncomfortable when we were leaving the port in. When we were leaving the IV thing in. All right. Now he's got that all cleaned up. And now he's putting the lidocaine, which they say to put on, an hour before the appointment. So that way it gives it plenty of time to, and yes, he did wash his hands. He always washes his hands before he touches anything like this. Well, he washes them all the time now these days. Good thing we got a script refill, huh? So he's just globbing it on there. And then they gave us these little patch deals to put over it. So that way, you know, it will sit there and just numb. And then when I get in, they'll go through and they'll wipe it off and then access the port. But this way it won't be as uncomfortable for me. Well, hopefully. As you can tell, he was just sitting there feeling around, making sure that he was getting on top of the port. All right, and now he's getting ready to put the little bandage deal on. Oh, careful. Don't drop it, babe. And there we are. Always the fun stuff, the pre-prep, right? There we go. And he just took the backing off, and now we are sealing it to keep the area clean and to prevent anything from getting into the numbing agent and keeping it, you know, all intact. Okay, don't forget to seal the bandage itself, love. He's so meticulous. That's what happens when I have a carpenter. He takes his time just because he is meticulous. Oh, and he's very thorough. Let me tell you, he has done so much research between, you know, just, you know, the process and everything else. All right, so we're going to be heading out. We got that all set. All good, babe?
Yeah, I think he was good.
I do have to say, this man has been through and walking this whole journey with me. I mean, as you saw, he's the one that buzzed my head. He's the one that puts these things on before my appointments. And he's constantly watching me, you know, and making sure that I'm taking what I need to.
I'm going to get me a big coffee to go.
Okay. He has really been a huge support, and when I'm not doing well, he always sits there and makes jokes and tries everything he can to make me laugh. As they say, laughing is the best medicine, and that is so very true. He is goofy, especially when I need him to, because this journey has not been easy on any of us. And I see the pain that my family feels when they see me in pain, and it sucks. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Unfortunately, it seems to be the only thing that, you know, will attack the cancer fast and, you know, with more precision on getting rid of it. So, like I've said before, earlier in one of the videos, because I've talked to people over the past few weeks, and they were surprised that they were doing the chemo before, you know. So the doctor had told me that he wants to try to shrink the cancer as much as possible and as fast as possible, which is why we're doing the chemo treatment. And then after that, then we will go through and do the surgery, and then the radiation, and then the surgery, and then I will continue the immune therapy. So in most situations, in most cancer treatments, they use the hormone therapy, but because of the type of cancer I have, they have to use immune therapy. Anyway, it looks like we are ready to go. I will talk to you guys later. and keep you updated. Love you. Mwah.